For a decade, I've been carrying around a small stack of empty notebooks, pilfered from the library of the Central Government War Headquarters, a 35-acre Cold War bunker buried deep under the English countryside just outside the city of Bath. The books are pulpy and sallow, and their spines have two spots of radiating discoloration from where the staples holding them together have bled rust into the paper. Each is emblazoned with the royal emblem of Queen Elizabeth II, the letters ER separated by a crown. Each book is also stamped SO Book 3. I've always assumed the SO stood for Special Operations, and that 3 must be a government code for the type of notebook it is. 48 ruled pages. I could never confirm this because the internet provided no answers as to their production or provenance. What I can tell you is that if during the Cold War years World War III had unfurled and London had been obliterated by a nuclear strike, the thoughts of the survivors might have been recorded in those pages. I often wonder about the words that might have been written in them, and I ponder that if those words had been written, I might not be alive to read them. The bunker itself is larger than 25 football fields combined, but this didn't make getting into it any easier. The early dusk of winter provided cover for a dozen of us dressed in black to squeeze through a long broken iron gate and descend some 20 meters down a ramp into a pitch-black underground Bathstone quarry, which on our tattered map was labeled simply Box Mine. Each of us, all seasoned urban explorers, had long relished the opportunity to investigate what we colloquially knew as the Burlington Bunker. None of us anticipated the scale of what awaited us on the other side of the massive red blast doors we wrenched open with rods ferried from the broken iron gate. This massive subterranean space could be buttoned up to seal off and shelter 4,000 people for months. Almost 100 kilometers of road strung with 100,000 lights, interconnected an industrial kitchen, sleeping quarters, a bomb-proof radio broadcasting station, laundries, a drinking water reservoir, and, of course, the government library, where I pocketed the book. As we drove hot-wired electric buggies through the complex, it was possible to imagine a small elite tribe enduring here in the first months of a post-apocalyptic period. What those residents would find when they finally opened the blast doors and walked back up the ramp was more difficult to envisage. I'd seen astonishing places with that crew of urban explorers and spent some time in court and jail as a result, but nothing rivaled finding a subterranean city. For a decade after visiting the Burlington Bunker, I kept the notebooks with me, still unfilled, waiting for a story worthy of them. I finally saw my chance in 2016 when the secret city was put on the market for £1.5 million. One of the prospective buyers was an American called Robert Vicino. Founder and CEO of the Vivos Group, Vicino was a property developer with a difference. His pitch was both doomsayer and savior. Convinced that the collapse of civilization was imminent, he was all over the internet, speaking in a booming register of pandemics, floods, riots, and war. The end of the world as we know it. He lambasted skeptical journalists who sought to interview him for their naivety and unpreparedness, and suggested the government would leave us behind to fend for ourselves when things began to fall apart. In the face of this catastrophe, the Vivos Group offered buyers a chance at survival. A life assurance solution, as Vicino described it, a way to cross through those hazardous troughs. In Burlington, he saw an opportunity, a perfect venue for constructing a private bolt hole to ferry a small percentage of the world's population through that collapse. Imagining the bunker filled with paying clients rather than government officials was the beginning of my descent into prepper culture. As I would find over the next few years, there were many like Vicino with similar visions, a group of doomsday capitalists I came to call the Dread Merchants.
To keep listening to this audiobook for free, click the link in the description. It will take you to a free Audible trial where you can listen to this and many other books for free for 30 days.